Good afternoon. Fade to Black breaking news on Thursday, January 12th, 2023. I'm Jimmy Church. This is all of the news that you need. On this day in history, 1904, Henry Ford sets a land speed record of 91.37 miles per hour on the frozen surface of Michigan's Lake St. Clair. He was driving a four-wheel vehicle dubbed the 999, made of wood and no body or hood, on ice, 91 miles per hour. On this day in 1904, let's get to your fader fact today. In 1783, the first hot air balloon was launched in France. Its passengers were a sheep, a duck, and a rooster, because at the time, it was unknown how flying at high altitudes would affect people. I'm just going to leave that right there. Let's get to the breaking news. Well, it finally happened. Today, the 2022 annual UFO UAP report that was due back on October 31st, 2022 has been released. It's just 12 pages long. And it's not the classified version, by the way. This is the public version. So, some of the highlights in total: 510 unidentified aerial phenomena, I'm putting that in air quotes, observed in protected airspace or near sensitive facilities have been compiled as of August of last year, 2022. Now, out of the 510, 366 were gathered since a preliminary assessment was published in 2021. Now, according to the report, just 26 of the 510 were drones. And get ready, 163 were balloons. And 6 were described as clutter. Right? I'm not sure what that means. That leaves, if we do the math right, 171 sightings that, again, air quotes, according to the report, that appear to have demonstrated unusual flight characteristics or performance capabilities, end quote, lifted from the report. Now, the report also said that no U.S. aircraft, specifically the United States, has ever collided with a UFO. And the report also says that looking at or observing a UFO or a UAP hasn't caused any health effects to personnel so far. There you go. Now, the 12-page report is an unclassified version of the secret stuff that was just delivered to Congress. Okay, now I'm going to be reading through the report and getting back to everybody in the days ahead. Okay, here we go. And pretty bummed about this. Justin Roiland, who co-created and stars in the hit animated series Rick and Morty, has been charged with felony domestic violence in connection with an incident that occurred in 2020. Now, we're in 2023, so I know what you're saying. How come we haven't heard about this before? Check this out. He was charged with 1 felony count of domestic battery with corporal injury and 1 felony count of false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, and or deceit. He pleaded not guilty to both charges at an October 2020 arraignment, and the case has proceeded through the court system without attracting public attention. Well, it's attracting public attention now, and I am reporting on it. Roiland appeared in an Orange County, California court today in connection with the case. So I guess I won't be wearing my Rick and Morty t-shirts anymore. In a new study, a team of astronomers led by Haojing Yan at the University of Missouri used data from NASA's James Webb Space Telescope early release observations and discovered 87 galaxies that could be the earliest known galaxies in the universe. The finding moves the astronomers one step closer to finding out when galaxies first appeared in the universe. And now that number is about 200 to 400 million years after the Big Bang. All of this according to Yan, Associate Professor of Physics and Astronomy at MU and lead author of the study. So there you go. The first galaxies formed 200 million years after the Big Bang. And that's a short period of time, isn't it? And more James Webb news. The James Webb Space Telescope has detected its first rocky exoplanet. And the distinction goes to LHS 475b, an Earth-sized planet as hot as Venus, located just 41 light years away from Earth in the constellation Octans. All right. Well, it happened yesterday. The FAA's computer system crashed. There were over 1,000 canceled flights yesterday. I think there were 6,000 delays, all because of the FAA's program. The Federal Aviation Administration software that failed yesterday caused thousands of flight delays and cancellations. And that system is 30 years old and at least 6 years away from being updated. Now, what happened was there was a corrupted file. So they went to the backup version of everything, and that same file was corrupted in the backup. Go and figure. The notices to air missions, it's called NOTAM, N-O-T-A-M. The notices to air missions database failure triggered the FAA to implement the first nationwide stop of air traffic in more than 20 years. Its budget estimate for 2023, the FAA requested $29.4 million for its Aeronautical Information Management Program, which includes the NOTAM system. But yes, it is still 6 years away from being brought online. So there you go. That's all of the Fade to Black breaking news that you need for this Thursday, January 12th, 2023. I'm Jimmy Church, and breaking news is produced by Renee Newman. And with that, I will say, go back, Lee Tappy.